Take back control. Stop letting algorithms decide your news. Get uncensored history and real knowledge to strengthen your mind, body, and spirit. Watch ad-free content now at iNeverKnewTV.com Premium. There seems to be a growing generational gap, or is there already, where many young people feel disconnected from their elders and even from themselves, right? I once heard you say, and I'm paraphrasing, many youth are crying out to be heard, feeling invisible, and seeking acceptance from those who may not value them. How can we begin to address this disconnect, and what role does historical awareness play in bridging this gap between generations?
That's $1 million question. And sadly enough, I would say just about every Black organization is facing that problem. NAACP on down to the neighborhood block associations. How do we bridge that gap with young people? I think if we collaborated together, because I see some community projects, like some art projects, and where different people of different ages in a particular community will come together and work with young people and talk to people. That seems to get, but that's really at the micro level, and the larger realm. It's a lot. You try to educate them. So, shameless plug for my map. My project is what we call Digital Humanities Project, which you take a large amount of information and you put it together using technology. So what I did was to take all this information, not only on slave revolts, but the second map looks at anti-colonial and civil rights movements, and putting them together on a map, like a Google map, and have people go and open them so that they'll learn about each instance. And my target audience is really 15-year-olds, 15 to 25, young people, because they don't know the history of resistance. They don't, I don't think, because I can say, even when I was a teenager and I would hear about the civil rights movement, I get tired of hearing about Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. I mean, like, how many times are you going to tell me this story? And I became bored, and I really didn't see the essence of the movement until I got much older and start really looking at their strategies, their tactics, how they networked, how they sacrificed, their courage, what they were up against. Then I'm like, oh, okay. And by the time we get to 2050, 2050, the majority of the population, the Black population, are going to be around 25 years old and under. And at the trajectory we're going now, with this fascism and imperialism, they need to know resistance. And so that's why I put that up there, so you can learn about the role of culture and how do you mobilize people politically, So I give each facet of that, how the leaders talk to people, and how do you actually convince people to get involved? And I was laughing because now, of course, we're boycotting Target and other places, and I was saying, Black people going. Some of them are still going to the store or get things a lot. So, but during the 60s in the South, you had groups of people who were called enforcers, who would actually go stand in front of the store.
Not going in there.
And they would beat people up. Even women would beat other women up. You're not going in there, to maintain it. So when you hear all these stories and see all these things, when we see our past, we can become empowered. And I think that's what's missing, not only with young people, older people too. We don't know who we are. We don't know what we've been through, right? And of course, you can't move forward unless you, Sankofa, look backwards and see that. So I'm just hoping by people being more enlightened and educated on our history of resistance, that would help bridge the gap a little, help the young people have more respect for older people, and for older people to have more respect and patience for the younger people.